Harshvardhan Dole. He's the analyst in the power sector, institutional equities at IIFL, joins in on the show. Harsh, hi, morning. First, of course, what's the course ahead for IGL? The stock, that is, post the 30% gains on Friday. Do you see more upside, or the stock pretty much, do you think, has factored in all the positive verdicts in the case on Friday itself?
Well, there are two aspects to it. One is, of course, this is a moral victory for IGL, and their basis of argument has been upheld by the High Court. The other part is PNGRB, which is an aggrieved party. I'm sure they will analyze the order in detail, and they may look forward to appealing against this order in the Supreme Court, because the way in which this order is being worded, it clearly and categorically states that PNGRB does not have any power to determine any component of tariff which in a way goes into the build-up of retail selling price of a CNG or a PNG, the products which are being sold by Indraprastha Gas or any CGD company. So in a way, it's become a legal logjam whereby regulator who is empowered, who was supposed to determine the tariff, now there are certain loopholes in the law which do not allow him to go ahead and determine the tariff. So to me, I think one should not just be really conclusive. One should wait for a few days to go and see whether PNGRB appeals against this order in the Supreme Court.
So what to your mind is a fair price for IGL at 249? Is IGL a hold, a buy, or more like a sell?
Well, our official stance is one has to be very cautious. At this particular juncture, assuming that the PNGRB does not appeal against this order in the Supreme Court, then of course IGL becomes a clear buy, whereby it is trading at something like 12-13 times 1 year forward, and deservingly it trades to the multiples deservingly need to be in excess of 15-16 times on a 1 year forward, given what the operating matrix is, given what the growth visibility the company offers. But this is clearly assuming that PNGRB does not go ahead and appeal in the Supreme Court. Now, what will determine the stock price from here on is the news flow, and particularly what stance does the government take from here on, clearing up the entire I wouldn't say mess, but this uncertainty. I think government has a greater role to play now, stating whether PNGRB has a right to determine the tariff or not through a proper legislation.
How soon do you expect clarity to emerge on that?
Well, the court has given 60-day time window for PNGRB to appeal in the Supreme Court, and I'm sure Supreme Court, given the fact that this is one of the critical matters, would look forward to expedite the case. But still, given what the current priorities are, I would expect that a resolution cannot be expected before 3 months or so.
So if in 60 days PNGRB, if they don't move to Supreme Court, would IGL be a clear buy?
Of course, it becomes a clear buy.
Also, Harsh, post this verdict, do you see Gujarat gas deal also fetch higher valuations? Because we saw the deal getting delayed as the valuations arrived upon were much lower.
Well, Gujarat Gas and IGL, one should not mix up these two entities, because revenue models of these two entities is completely different. Most importantly, Gujarat Gas has not even received its authorization. Now, once it receives the authorization, it would actually go ahead and file for the tariff petition. And given what has happened with IGL, I think they'll be doubly cautious while filing the tariff petition and defend their tariffs much better. Rather, they'll be in a position to defend their tariffs in a much better way. So, of course, this particular verdict should help, BG get a better valuation, assuming that, of course, with the caveat that Supreme Court, that particular step is not followed by PNGRB.
Why did Petronet LNG, shoot up, or what was the reason why Petronet LNG spike on Friday?
Even I am, frankly, the way this order is, worded, there was no relevance of Petronet LNG, or for that matter even GSPL with business of IGL. I think these stocks have got re-rated or got a boost up largely because of the sentimental issues. If one reads to the High Court order in detail, it actually categorically states that the PNGRB does not have a authority to determine network tariff or a transportation tariff for a CGD entity. At least that is what we have drawn inference on. So to that extent, Petronet was never affected by the court case between IGL and PNGRB, and therefore its derating or re-rating kind of perplex us.